What's up, YouTube? It's 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here in Ohio in the fish room. Like the title says, this stream is not safe for kids. You have been warned. So there's your parental guidance warning. Oh, for the love of God. So ain't nobody here. It's just me at the moment. Let's see how long that lasts. Probably like 3 people will come in. It is what it is. You know, got a lot of things on my mind. Oh, you know, just doing me. So I'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody pops in, and then we're going from there. I am going from there. Nobody watching. Oh no. Hey, we got 2 people. Welcome, 2 people. Ah. Wonder who the 2 people are. Oh, yeah. Just wonder. Get tired sometimes of wondering who's there and who isn't. What's up, Danny? How you doing? Long time no see, my friend. Long time no see. Let's see who's live, shall we? Ha! According to this, I'm the only individual alive on YouTube right now. How is that possible? How am I possibly the only one live in the fish community on a Tuesday night? Hi, Tommy. Hi, Brandon. Guys, the link's in the comments section if you guys want to pop up. Oh, you're not working today. Congratulations, Danny. It's about time you got a day off. What's up, Mexicali? Like I said, people, links in the comment section if you want to hop up. Let's do this. Dead Air Day. Take over. I'm here, man. I'm here. We're doing what we got to do. This stream is going to be a little different. You know, typically I've got a guest, I got a subject, I got a topic. There ain't no topics. This is from the hip. I'll take questions. I'll take comments. I'll take concerns. But the one thing I won't take is some bullshit. I'm not on it. If you're on it, I don't need you. Dead serious. Need to talk about manners, though. You know, people need to be taught manners in this day and age. You know, I had somebody, bump into me the other day and didn't have enough balls to say excuse me or I'm sorry. What's up, Jesse? Yeah, man. Me and you've been talking about that for a little bit. That's a weird situation. But yeah, man, if you're in public and if you bump into somebody, say freaking excuse me, I mean, it is what it is. You just get tired of hearing people not have any common courtesy. Is common courtesy dead? Are parents not teaching their kids anything? I mean, let's talk about that for a minute. Because when I grew up, if I disrespected my elders, I'd get smacked. I'd get taken outside if I was at a shop. I mean, I'd get my butt whooped. Some of that is just getting a little out of hand. You know what? I am going to. Nah, we ain't doing that one. We'll do that one. There we go. We got a banner up. I don't care. You guys are aware I went to Canada this past weekend. Some unfortunate events unfolded out of Canada. My transmission in my van went bad. She's slipping. She ain't doing too well. I'm thinking about either starting an OnlyFans for my van, call it OnlyFans. Maybe a GoFundMe, something like that. I'm not doing none of that, dude. That's not who I am. I've got to figure out how the hell I'm going to come up with $4,000 to put a tranny in my van. So if you see part of the fish room missing, you know what happened. If you bump into someone, I always say sorry, usually preceded by oh shit, because yep, every time. Your kids are pretty dang respectful. Some volunteer at local events and are loved for their kindness and willing to help. Absolutely. 240s in the house. You are now 300. Mexicali, you're 100% right. Parents are no longer parents. Parents are too busy trying to be their kid's friend instead of their parents. And that's why I think there's a lot more issues going on in this world than what is going on. Actually, not even issues. So I think there's a lot more of it's going to sound weird, and I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, so I just keep it to myself. Now, you know what? Screw that. There's too many kids that are on the spectrum for having behavioral problems that a good old-fashioned, passionate ass whooping would cure. I grew up in Vegas. If we said, excuse me, we got our ass whooped. However, I'm from West Virginia, so we say, excuse me. Absolutely. If I learned anything in almost my 40 years here, it's that I only need a couple of good friends. Absolutely. Unpopular opinion. Yes, you can spank the autism. I'm 19, and this is so true. I mean, kids, honestly, there's no 100% parents are not parents. You know what is raising majority of kids? Cell phones, tablets, the internet, Peppa Pig, narratives that don't need to be pushed. Do you really need a whole army, or do you just need a few good? Oh, absolutely, man. You only need a few people. A few good people can start a war and end it. I hate when you wave to someone and they don't wave back, or hold a door and they don't say thank you, or when you talk to someone and they act like they're too good to reply. Last I checked, we all eat and poop. So this is a good thing right here. You know how you're in traffic and you let somebody in and you don't get that little wave? We should be able to get up underneath of their back bumper, get them loose, and put them into a wall. I mean, dead serious. That's another one for me. Yeah, manners aren't taught anymore. I have manners. I was raised with manners. I can't take the lack. I can't take the lack of just respect that nobody gives anymore. I'll tell you this. I will give you respect. You earn my disrespect. And there's several people lately that have earned my disrespect. And if you're one of them listening to me right now, you know who you are. Mad Max is getting him a coffee and a cigar, and he's going to join me. Oh, I love it. Jess, when people do that, it's appropriate to just wave. Once again, people, the name of the title of the live stream. This stream is not safe for kids. You've been warned. If your kids have your iPad or are on your computer and they're on my live stream, there's fish in the background, but there's bullshit in the comment section and coming out of my mouth. I promise you, I am not the most PG individual. I've said that from the top. And I'll tell you one thing that I am honest when it's nothing else. So people need to remember that. I don't go out of my way to be rude. I don't go out of my way to be arrogant. I don't go out of my way to be an asshole. I am me. Unapologetically, I am me. I'm an asshole. It takes a lot of work to be on this level of assholeness. People don't understand that, And that's another thing. It's like my wife. People don't know how to take my wife. Anybody that's been on my live stream knows for 100% fact that my wife has no filter between here and here. If she thinks it, it comes out. It is what it is. Absolutely. I miss WV. I really do. I spent summers there. Every time I hit that border across from Ohio into West Virginia, I feel like I am home. No, you haven't seen that side yet. And please don't put me there because I actually like you guys. Eyes, not ass. Talking text Southern don't mix. No, they don't. Welcome, Sue Ann. This stream is rated R. There is profanity. It is not for kids or adults with large sticks up their asses. Facts. I live between the thumb and the finger. Seems like a pretty respectful person to me. Thank you, sir. I try to be, man. I give everybody the same level of respect you give me. I'm going to give you the same energy you give me. Dead serious. If you come at me, I'm going to come back at you. I promise you. I'm not going to be that petty, though. So remember that, pumpkin. Oh, yeah. I don't understand when the parenting stopped and the friendship began, because I was raised in the 80s and the 90s. I basically took care of myself outside. I didn't come in until the street lights were on. What's up, Depth Charge? Welcome. But, you know, I basically outside had fun. I had an imagination. I had friends. I had a bicycle. I spent more time outside than I did in front of a TV. That was until I got my Nintendo. When I got my Nintendo, all hell broke loose. I was in front of that TV playing the absolute shit out of some Mario. Oh, you did see a little bit of gangster mode when that dude was being disrespectful to June. There's two things I don't take. You don't mess with children and you don't mess with women. Not in my presence. I promise you. That's two things I will hurt you over. I was raised that way. Yep. Haha. Let me get some volume here so I can let you.
Warning. Your discretion is advised, but not cared about. I don't care about your feels. Check this out.
You heard it. I don't care about your feels. Check this out. Man, I remember going outside. I had a sandbox, right, in my backyard when I was a kid. I would dig tunnels. I had Hot Wheels, man. I had freaking Tonka trucks. I had excavators, bobcats, backhoes. I mean, I had all kinds of shit. I was the only child. You know what I mean? My brother and sister are both older than me. My sister's damn near 10 years older than me. I was an afterthought. I was an oops. I forgot to pull out. You know what I mean? So, but my sandbox was huge, man. I think I had like a 12 by 12 sandbox. I mean, I played in the sandbox. I built bicycles. I had my own apartment, man, at like 10 years old. Where we lived at was a 3-unit house, a 3-apartment house. We had all 3 units. The whole thing was ours. The upstairs and downstairs, and then there was the back apartment. The back apartment was mine. I had bicycles, stereos, model cars, TV. My Nintendo was back there. I mean, I had my own place to kick it when I was a kid. I was by myself. I didn't really care. I had friends, but it is what it is. G.I. Joes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tonkas. Oh, hell yes. Man, we used to play a game called Dino Man with a football. See? We're from the age of where we had an imagination, not the age where we played on an iPad. Man, if you'd have told me when I was a kid growing up that somebody would be playing with a computer tablet, I would have laughed at you. Now you tell me that, I'm like, damn, there goes that kid's brain. You know, I seen a kid not that long ago in my neighborhood playing in the front yard with a Tonka truck, like an old Tonka truck. I'm like, that's a set of parents right there. They got them outside playing. They're not inside, you know, watching freaking stupid cartoons or something, you know, that's melting their brain, brainwashing our kids into being hooked on, you know, all this electronic shit. So I don't know. My thing is, I sit here. I had He-Man. I had wrestling figures. I had wrestling action figures. I had a wrestling ring. And one of my wrestlers was Hulk Hogan, and the other one was the Ultimate Warrior. So I had toys. I had more Hot Wheels, and I know what to do. I still have most of them. They're in a box underneath in my basement down here, under my crawl space. You know, I had a good time. I was a kid. I rode bicycles, man. I went through the woods. I played in the rain, played in the snow. Hell, I broke my arm. My dad made me shovel the driveway with a broken arm. I said, how would you like me to do it? He said, I don't care if you put the shovel in your ass and walk backwards. Go shovel the driveway. Guess what I did? I went and shoveled the driveway. Transformers are awesome. You know, and now in my fish room, I get to be a kid. Look behind me. You got Wonder Woman. You got friggin' Spider-Man. You got Mario shit all over the walls. I got Pac-Man behind my Oscar tank over here. Who that bitch is over here looking at me sideways, wondering when I'm going to feed her. She's only looking at me with one eye because she's blind in the other one. Yes, he told me to put the shovel in my ass and walk backwards. He didn't care. Shovel the fucking driveway was his exact words. So I went and shoveled the driveway. Broken arm. I'm right-handed, so I shoveled with my left. Took me forever and a day, but I did it. You know, and then you think about us as adults. Now we have fish in a tank. I wonder why. They're toys for us. Technically, we're keeping them alive, but they're still toys. Like I said before, the link is in the comment section. If you want to come up, come on up. However, like I said, this is a rated R stream. What's up, Raph? Welcome. Me and my friends are like a hybrid of playing outside tablet kids. We rode our bikes around town all the time, met up at the park, smoked weed, got go on our phones at the picnic tables. Well, at least you got on a bicycle. Our entire house is Transformers and fish, but it's my husband that's blind in one eye. My fish is blind in one eye. Literally, she is blind on her left side. Her right eye's fine. She's blind on the left. You know, so I just remember having a childhood, man. That's what I'm tired of not seeing. I'm tired of seeing these kids run around here and not having a childhood or knowing what an imagination is. I'm tired of all these just disrespectful individuals. And the sad part is, it's my generation that's raising these little assholes. I mean, literally. So I am technically a millennial, but I was born on the first year of millennial. Every bit of my values are Gen X or Gen Z or whatever the fuck it is. Gen Z, I think Gen X. Gen X, not Gen Z. Look at this stud.
What are you talking about, Gen Xers? That's my generation.
You're the generation before me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have all your values. I'm just born a year late. I'm born in 81. The end of Gen X is fucking 1980.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't keep track with that too much with that, other than I know that the newer generations are a lot more touchy-feely.
Man, these new generations are hurt by everything, bro.
Well, when words start hurting you, then you know you got a problem.
Man, I mean, literally, do you remember disrespecting people and getting your ass whooped?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember getting my ass whooped by strangers for being a shithead.
Correct. Got my ass whooped by the principal.
Yeah, the paddle.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. We got Tommy, who started riding dirt bikes at 7. He ended up being one of them lucky Texan hofos that rode dirt bikes with gats. Didn't mess around. Started getting paid at 14 for racing. He's like the first or second year of Gen Z. Millennial is just a mindset. Yeah, but it's actually my generation that is raising these little lazy and just entitled bastards.
Wow. I think each generation is kind of bears some responsibility in that.
They are weak and a bunch of crybabies. 100%, man.
And the reason is because, unfortunately, we didn't want our kids to go through the shit that we went through. Not knowing that we're going to make them soft.
How many kids you have?
4.
How many kids I have? I have none. If I had some, they would definitely not be like these guys are.
Yeah, well, I was hard on my kids, but nowhere near as hard as my dad was on us.
Raph says it's in the food.
Yeah, but I did teach them, the little what I could, which was ethics, and you don't have to be a shithead. You treat people with respect, and you treat people exactly the way you want to be treated. That's what I always told them.
And that's exactly what I do. And people don't know how to. I don't know, man. I'm trying not to touch on other subjects that I'm trying to just fucking forget about. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave those subjects where they belong. But I just remember that if my parents ever introduced me to somebody and I didn't say fucking hi to them,
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
That was a hand to the back of the head.
Absolutely. I'm getting smacked upside of the head. I was raised to give respect where respect is given.
Well,
and I've told everybody this shit. I will give you all my respect. You have to earn my disrespect.
It was funny. I don't know if this is common thing with most people my generation, but I remember we got to a certain age where we understood a look. If mom or dad gave you a certain look, no matter how wild out you were, you stopped because you knew what was coming after that. If they had to do something, you knew you were going to get disciplined. So sometimes it got to the point where all they had to do was turn around and just give us that look, and you'd settle down.
I have watched some of these kids in the store. I watched this kid get mad because his mom wouldn't buy him a Snickers bar. Dude, he literally took this Snickers bar, chucked it, and hit her right in the eye with it. My mom would have beat the brakes off of me right in front of the supermarket, in front of everybody. And people would have stood around and be like, see, that's what you get, you little ass.
Yep. That I was going to say, we kind of tried that when we were kids, and immediately it was about comes off and a couple lickings and you were done. You knew no meant no.
I mean, I know I'm younger than you. You're like what, 49?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm 52.
Oh shit, I gave you credit. Look at that. You look like you're younger than you are. But my dad's a Marine.
Okay.
Well, my stepfather raised me since I was 3 months old. So technically he's my dad no matter what. The dude's a Marine. And like I said earlier, I shoveled the driveway with a broken hand or a broken arm. I'm like, how do you expect me to do this? He said, put the shovel in your ass and walk backwards. I don't care. Shovel the fucking driveway. So I did, but I was raised to where I'm raised old school. Hold the door for people, open the door for females. I don't open the door for my wife anymore because I've been with her for 16 years. That bitch can open her own door.
No. You can't lose that.
That bitch can open her own door.
I still do it for my wife.
I love her, but she can open her own door.
Nah, man. Those are the things you got to do as a man. Those are not.
Yeah. Sometimes chivalry dies a little bit.
Nah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. I agree, but sometimes it does. No, man, it's hard for me to. It's honestly getting harder for me to walk around that fucking car because of my leg. So there's a reason behind it, but I will open the door for you. I will, how you doing? Even if I don't know somebody smiles at me, I'll smile back and ask them how they're doing. The generation of today, you walk past these and they're looking, well, what are you looking at me for, creep? Oh, well, excuse the fuck out of me for being pleasant.
Yeah. Well, that's because they live in a fantasy world.
Chivalry will never die in Texas. We different.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that I really admire about Texas, and that's kind of what I look forward to every time I go, is that people are cordial. They don't have to know you to say good afternoon, good morning, the greeting of the day. You could be in a public area waiting on somebody and they're real good about making small talk. I mean, it's something you don't, when I lived in California, that was non-existent. Everybody's so caught up in their own BS and trying to live a front that is in reality. But down there, that's one of the things I do admire about Texas is that people are very, very friendly. They, you know, you'll be driving down the street and they'll wave at you, and you'll be like,
Absolutely.
"Oh, okay, hi." I'll wave back. I was like, "Who is that?" It doesn't matter. You know, they're gonna wave.
So a few years ago, me and my wife went to Mississippi.
Mhm.
We went through Tennessee, down into Mississippi. We went to Alabama, and we ended up in Louisiana and shit. You know what I mean? We took a little trip. And I have to say that everybody that I crossed paths with down there were the nicest people I've ever met. They waved, they said hi, like you were saying. You know, it was pleasant, and I agree. I kind of like that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of where I'd like to live instead of where I live now. You know, I've got neighbors who don't give a shit how loud they are at 10 o'clock at night. Constantly got people in and out of the driveway, dude. 2:30 in the morning, blowing the horn. Like, I mean, I'm laying there asleep, bro, and you're blowing a horn. You're gonna wake up the wrong bear one night. And you're gonna fucking hate me. I promise you.
Yeah, but they'll continue to do that until something happens, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I don't see them living in this neighborhood long. I don't think they can afford it.
Hmm.
And I know that
That's a good
sounds really, really bad, but they can't. I know they can't. They're one of those people that got a really good deal on a house in a
Yeah.
really good neighborhood, but they can't afford it.
Hmm.
You know what, man? I'm not from the South. I was raised with Southern values, and I can agree with you not to play with the people from the South. You mess with the wrong person, and they'll never find you. So I guess we could do a little bit of fish room. How's those new fish doing?
They're doing fine. I had somebody post in a comment. See, I'm not too familiar with those type of swords. I've only had the regular swords, and they were saying that there's a thing where you can't necessarily breed lyre-tail with lyre-tail because you're going to have infertile fry, and then some of them won't grow out. So you got to use a regular sword or a sword that doesn't have the lyre-tail from that genetics to be able to get, and you'll get like a 50-50, and you gotta call them out of there. But good thing I got, and I was looking at the male with the lyre-tail, and I was looking at it, I go, yeah, this guy's not going to be able to reproduce. He's got a podium is almost as long as his sword. So it's like, yeah, I don't think that's happening. But luckily I got a regular one along with it. That's why I had two males in there. It wasn't my intention to get two males. But the guy, I guess, must have known better, and he threw another one in there. Max, when you build your cinder block stand, you apply. No, it's just sitting on gravity is what's keeping it together.
He is stressing over his stand he built for his new tank. I told him
got a lot of weight on there.
I told him he's overthinking it.
If he's concerned about it, I recommend he watches Tasawa Tank's video on building a cinder block thing, because he runs up against it and pushes it as hard as he can, and that thing hardly moves with his aquariums on it, because he wanted to prove a point that those things are not coming down. I saw that. I said, it's good enough for me.
Jesse, you're definitely stressing, sir, and I understand.
Well, if you guys saw the live where I showed you how this thing is just standing at about a 1/4 inch on the cinder blocks and the rest is floating, and it's held up all this time, you got nothing to worry about. Everybody says, I always like to push the envelope when it comes to, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Look, you know what really made me stop worrying is looking at the stands that they sell you at the aquarium stores.
Particle board.
And it's not even, it's what, 1/2 inch thick boards?
Yep.
And it holds up your aquariums. 2x4s are not going anywhere. You need to quit worrying. People get too freaking carried away with, we overbuild everything. And so anybody that, if your tank ever sat in an Astoria aquarium store bought stand, anything you build is superior to that.
Bro, that
Anything.
stand behind me that I built for my 240, I swear to God, I can put a tow truck on it.
Yeah, it's just
I think it probably hold 10,000 pounds.
we worry too much about those things. I started looking. I saw one the other day because I picked it up like nothing. And I was like, wait a minute, this thing's way too light. It was for a 55. And I started looking at it. It was pine, and it was like a half-inch pine boards, vertical boards that they had on there. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They had no really like structure support like what we do with our stands. Nothing like that. Sucker was held up.
So Shamu, I'm gonna say that particle board trash stand from PetSmart is actually cheap. However, mine's going on 3 years on the same stand. I have no bowing at the bottom. As long as you don't get the freaking thing wet, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the key. Don't get it wet.
Enjoy your Nintendo 64. I miss my 64. But yeah, you know, I used to play a lot of video games. I really don't anymore. What's up, Mystic Pets?
I make it a point nowadays. I have the only game I play is a baseball game on my PS4, and that sucker is old as hell because it's it's 2020. It's the show.
I have MLB The Show 19.
Yeah, I have the 20. Oh, the one with Bryce Harper on the cover.
Yeah,
I had that one.
Only reason I got it is because I paid $2.50 for it.
Well, that's, if you know me, you know I ain't paying full price for anything.
I don't pay full price for anything.
And I got it at Walmart in the used the used clearance section on them, because Walmart carries a couple of games, and I saw it there. It was like, I want to say it was like $10 or something like that. I said, yeah, I could spare $10.
I still think Jesse's stressing. He needs to stop stressing. Now I'm just doing it to pick on him because he keeps saying no.
Yeah.
No, man. What a
If you don't have anything better to stress about, then stress away. I got other shit that's more important than to worry about a stupid stand.
Like I told him, for me being a Mason, he's got nothing to worry about. I told him the only thing you have to worry about on that giving out is going to be the wood before the friggin' center block.
Yeah.
So he's going to be just fine.
The only thing you got to worry about is termites. Termites
they will destroy some stuff. Company that made my 240 only had one bad review on their tanks. Cracked 240. I pointed it out, and the guy who delivered the tank to me said, "Oh yeah, that idiot put it on a poorly built stand." What's up, HHD?
Is that his new 240?
Shamu, yeah, he's got an 8-foot 240.
I know, but his new tank is the one that just cracked?
No. A company had only one bad review. Termites don't live here. That is a fact. That is a fact.
That's just something we got to deal with out here.
Oh, we have termites here. They've pretty much destroyed my back garage. I have 2 garages on my property. I have a 2.5 car attached and a 1.5 detached in the backyard, and they've had fun with the one in the backyard. But it's going to come down probably next summer, and I'm going to probably end up building a 40 by 40 building.
No. I was looking, the last stream that I did with Funk, he brought up a thing about containers, and now I've gone down the stupid rabbit hole of looking at containers for buildings instead of building, because they're a lot cheaper. You can get a container for about $4,000, and you can cut out the sidewalls and butt them up. And now they even have kits that they'll sell you where it just makes it all seamless, and you have a watertight space. And I was looking at that. I was like, maybe it's time to start looking for a piece of property.
That is definitely a good idea.
And setting up a store in there, because then you don't have any overhead other than the property.
Yep. First time building a center block stand. It's a 300 gallon, and I am not allowed to buy another one. So I wanted to make sure for peace of mind.
Just look at what King of DIY did with that 16-footer that he built. It's all cinder block
It's on
based.
center blocks.
Yeah.
He started making all kinds of shit out of center blocks. I think Tamara's whole fish room is made out of center blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
No, you got a better chance of your freaking leg breaking before that center block.
And in California, there's earthquakes, and those things don't fall. So,
so when I do build this building, it will be the new fish room. I will move everything out of the basement except for that. This will stay.
yep. Yeah, every day I regret less the fact of getting rid of that 300.
If I
It's
lived
just too
closer,
big.
I would have taken that.
It's just too big to try to move. It's like a set it and forget it kind of deal. Plus, I don't keep the big fish that need it. I mean, it would have been hella cool to do it for a community tank with the smaller fish, because then you would see a different interaction. But I can pull off pretty much the same thing with a 4-footer, you know?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Salient, my wife told me no more tanks. And then I go to work one day and I come home and she's waiting outside in the driveway for me. And she opens the back of the van and there's 2 75-gallon tanks in the back of the van. So she went and bought me more tanks. I want some bigger tanks though. I really do.
it's funny because I think I've gotten to the point where I think I have one too many tanks.
You know what, man? I have, oh, Jesus, here we go. I've got 62.
All
I
up
have-
and running?
No. 8 are not up and running.
That's still a lot of running tanks.
And then I have 2 more tanks coming. I have a 75 coming, and then I have a 180 coming.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think largest tank that I'm gonna have is a 4-footer. That's it. No more.
Largest glass tank I'm going to have is probably going to be this 240. I am going to build, whether it be in this basement or in my new fish room, I am going to build a monster. Because I have a thing, and I don't know why, but I have about fucking 75 Severums. I have a thing for Severums, electric blue Acara, and Oscars. Let's see. I missed a few. There's no such thing as a tank that's too big.
Yeah, when you're young, there isn't. And you got a bunch of friends that can help you move it. Wait till you get my age. And
Yeah.
you don't have anybody around to help you move shit around.
Jesse's at 16. Katie and I tell each other no more tanks, no more fish. Then we both laugh our asses off and get them anyway. She has 7 running. 1 and 2 stock tanks. Nice.
But I think it's normal. I think everybody gets MTS. You get to that point where you overstretch, and then you become smart and you go, okay, I can't do this. So you start downsizing to the number where you go, all right, this is good. But the problem is you guys that keep the big fish, all the tanks are big.
Sean, what the fuck are you doing awake, buddy? 4 a.m. comes early.
It's only 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he gets up at 4 a.m. though. You got to be at work at 5.
I was getting up at 4 a.m. all this week. That's not a big deal. I usually don't go to bed till probably 12. So 4 hours is good enough.
Oh, Jesse just asked, he wants me to send him some, and he said, how much? Jesse, I don't know yet, sir. I don't know if I'm actually, in fact, going to sell them or if I'm going to do something.
With what?
All the Severums I have.
Oh.
Mr. Jim, Mr. George. Welcome, DJ Guppy.
Hey, Sal. Well, since he's up, why doesn't Noisy get his butt up here and don't try to go get your hair done? And there's not,
Noisy, you're being called out, buddy. One big ass tank syndrome. Need that beauty sleep, Mad Max. Haha, I need all that beauty sleep.
There's
He's
not
in
enough
bed.
sleep in the world.
We are reaching a point to where the baby must be realistic with the time I understand. Send
Yeah,
50 bucks for 6.
Those tanks will start becoming less interesting more and more.
Yeah, that baby's going to come more interesting. Jesse, we'll have to conversate about that. I have a tank right here full of them. They're that big. I've got to let them grow out.
The Severums?
I got probably 100 of them in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't let them grow out too much because they're probably easier to ship while they're small.
I've got to go through. Some of them look a little weird.
Yeah.
I got to go through and pick them out.
Well, if you better do it now while other stuff can eat it.
He will be getting some new fish Saturday.
Well, he's got a bunch of empty tanks, doesn't he?
I think he's got 1 or 2. He is going to be getting some things that nobody else has.
Yeah, I still have 3 of the 10 gallons that don't have anything, and I'm not going to put anything in there because those are going to be what I'm going to try to breed stuff in.
Yeah, I've got 2 75s I got to reseal. I'm going to do them Friday night after work. I have a 44-gallon corner tank that I need to reseal and a 55 that needs to be resealed.
Oh, shit. I do have a corner tank that I keep forgetting about. Luckily, it's not a big one. I think it's only like a 10-gallon. Where the hell am I going to put that?
Hey, he's going to teach. What? Like she's not interesting? No, I'm going to teach her to swim in the tanks and scrub those hard to reach areas. 12 tanks running, 6 more empty, 2 sitting with plants, 3 sumps. Been lucky. People throwing away good equipment here. I wish.
Yeah, that's where I was at because most of my equipment I haven't had to pay for it. So I was taking everything in. Now I got to the point where I was like starting to get rid of stuff because I just didn't have room for it.
He's got a 90-gallon waiting to be set up for his Fahaka puffer. That's the new fish he's getting. There will be a video coming out probably Sunday. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for that.
Wait, are you giving them yours or what?
What? I don't have a Fahaka puffer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I'm a baller on a budget, man.
Hell yeah.
Majority of these fish in this fish room were free.
Yep.
I guess everybody's going to be like you, Sean. They're going to have to wait and see, sir. Oh, man. I got to take a trip Saturday. I got a little roadie I got to do.
So is your speaking engagement still on, or did you retract from that? Oh, okay.
No. I think it's April 10th. April 9th or April 10th. I didn't retract from it. I'm not going to
No, I was just curious because I know you were pretty disappointed with Canada.
I was all right. Let me put it this way. I wasn't disappointed with Canada. I was disappointed in how the show was hyped up about the aquarium thing. Okay. Granted, it's the second year that the aquarium part has been part of that show. Now, I will say this publicly. That way there's no bullshit. Nobody can say, oh, he fucking dissed Canada and he did this, he did that. I have no problem with Canada. I had no problem with the Canadian Pet Expo. I had a problem with, I thought the aquarium section was going to be bigger. Yes, there were vendors there. There were vendors that I don't know who the hell they were. Only 2 that I knew were Fluval and the other one was Northfen. That's it. The rest of them were Canadian companies. They're not big here. I don't know who they are. The reptile section, phenomenal. If you are a reptile person, please, by all means, go there. If you're for the aquarium section of it, wait a couple years. It's plain and
This in
simple.
Canada.
I ain't this in Canada. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you go to Canada and you eat their McDonald's, you'll fucking hate McDonald's in the United States. I promise you.
You know, I've heard that before. Is it what's so
Trash.
different about it?
United States fucking McDonald's is dog shit compared to Canada.
Well, it's because it's not food.
It's freaking
not
up there. It's up there. It's food and it's cheaper.
Mm.
I mean, legit. I had the best
When you
double
can leave-
cheeseburger I've ever had up there.
When you can leave a cheeseburger under out in the open for years and it doesn't rot away, that ought to tell you something.
Have a great eating, double HD. Just like England. But no, man. I mean, everybody. I mean, maybe my last live stream was a little harsh, but
No,
you gotta.
you know what it
you
is.
gotta think.
I understand because you were going with expectations that you were going to an event that was supposed to be pretty big in the
The
hobby.
event was big.
No.
but
I'm
it was
talking
big
about the
for the-
aquatic side.
It was big for the reptile hobby. It was big for a dog and cat hobby. It wasn't very big for the fish. It'll get there. There was some really cool aquascaping. I met some pretty cool aquascapers. I met the guy that won the damn competition.
Mm.
Can't tell you his name. That's terrible on me. But you know, I will straight up own it. It was a good time. Other than there wasn't a lot of things there for the aquarium hobby.
So basically, what happened is you went through the whole event within an hour or two of being there, and then you were
Well,
just
yeah.
kind of stuck there.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I got to hang out with Joey. I hung out with Gordon. I got to meet a few other people that were there. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not shitting on Canada. I'm not shitting on the fucking event.
Oh no, yeah, you publicly said Canada sucks. You know,
I did. 100%.
Yeah, you said Canada is no good, no bueno.
Canada's no good, no bueno.
You
You know,
said
we
Mexico
should
was
buy
better.
it. We should buy it.
I heard you
We
say
should
it.
buy it, turn it into a Walmart.
I heard you say it that you would go back to Mexico before you went.
I
back
would
to Canada.
probably go back to Mexico before I'd step into Canada.
See, Canada, you suck.
Nah. I probably wouldn't step into either one. You know what? I'm going to step into both of them again. There's a time coming because I'm going
You
to
know
come
what?
down.
There's
I'm going to come down here to see you, and you're going to take me to that Mexican fish store.
Oh yeah. I'm going to another one on Wednesday, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to film. I've been talking to the owner. What turned out with this new one, they just opened, I want to say like in August, and but the main store is in TJ, which is
Okay.
about an hour 45 from Mexicali. It's parallel to San
Tijuana?
Diego. Yeah, and that store had been around for 10 years.
They got
So,
donkey shows.
I don't know. I'll find out.
This is a family-friendly part right here.
I'll send you a video. No, and the owner was telling me because they had seen what I had done for that other store, and they were super excited that I had reached out to them because it's free publicity for these guys. I mean, I understand it, I get it, especially for a new business. And but he said we would love it if you would come when both of the owners are here, the one from TJ and the owner in Mexicali. So I said, sure, just let me know what day worked for you guys. But I'm still going to drop by on Wednesday just to take a look at it, and see what they have. Maybe if they let me, I'll for sure take pictures. I don't know if they'll let me do a video because they really want me to, kind of interview the owners, kind of like what I did with the one I did in Spanish, because it drew a lot of attention, especially because I posted it on Facebook too, on that Facebook group for the for the hobbyist in Mexicali. Man, that sucker's taken off. That's that's the one thing that I've ever posted on any of those groups that just caught wildfire. So they were pretty excited about it. And
Hi, Sean.
and I guess there's another one that's opening in October, and the guy already reached out to me, goes, would you mind coming over to our store? I said, nah, no problem. For me it gives me content, and for them it gives them a little bit of publicity.
All right. I don't hate Canada. I really don't. I don't hate Mexico. I didn't like the resort food.
Oh no, Just because
The
you're
resort
eating
food
gringo
was
food,
fucking terrible.
you just leave off the resort. And actually, you know what? The best thing you could do, and this is seriously, if you ever go back to Mexico,
Can I
when
go,
when
bro?
when housekeeping comes, ask them where they go eat, which restaurant. Tell them, yeah, ask them which restaurant did they go eat, and that's where you want to go eat. Because where the locals eat is where the food's going to be. It's going to be really good and really cheap.
Man,
Really cheap.
I was really expecting like some good shit, and I got let way the fuck down. You know,
Well, it's because
and
they're the resort's going to cater to the tourism, and the tourism is not everybody's willing to leave their comfort zone.
bro, I was looking forward to some empanadas. I was looking forward to some good rice and beans. I was looking forward to some good ass Mexican food. I wasn't looking forward to the Americanized garbage that they had on that resort.
Yeah.
It's sad when a bar next to the fucking pool had the best food. So, you know, when I was in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, those people were fucking awesome. Nobody was really a dick to me in Toronto, other than,
Yeah.
not even that. They weren't even dicks to me. It is what it is.
No. I thought the turned up nose person.
We'll leave that alone. That'll be a different subject, a different day, different time. You know what? Everybody's entitled to having a bad fucking day. I'll chalk it up as that.
I know.
At the end of the day, I'm going to be the bigger person.
Jesse, Jim also gets those.
I love those, dude. Every time I get those, good morning, you spicy fucking enchilada. I'm like, yeah. Time to wake up and grab the day by the muff.
There's a little group of you guys that gets those. But I know you guys can handle that.
Oh, I can handle whatever you throw.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of selectively, I don't send those to everybody. I know it's people that are kind of like same wavelength as me.
But yeah, man, everybody's entitled to having a bad day. I have bad days. It is what it is.
Well, we are human after all.
We are human after all, correct. It is what it is. Chalk it up as an experience, go on about my day. The only thing that pisses me off is my fucking tranny in my van.
So when are you getting the tranny job done?
I am getting a sex change on the 3rd of February.
So are you going to be Jamie now?
No.
Or Jill?
No. Completely changing it.
Oh.
Juanita.
We'll call you Lolita.
I heard an old song today that I haven't heard in forever. I know you're down with the old school 2 Live crew. Tell me you're not.
Yeah. I think I know where you're going. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get a light.
Absolutely. You don't need a light. I can see you just fine. Oh man. But yeah, guys, if you're into reptiles and dogs and cats, that Canadian Pet Expo is the show to go to. I mean, legit, I have never seen so many snakes, so many lizards, geckos. I mean, you name it. Anything that you need from, I'm talking like food bowls, water bottles, like heat lamps, cages. I guess they're terrariums is what they keep a fucking lizard in. I mean, it was everything you could think of that was there for a freaking reptile they had. Oh, excuse me.
So. I know the one that I went up to in LA, but I knew what I was going to because that was the very first year they had added the aquatic side to it. And it was small, but not as small as what you're talking about. But the building was probably about halfway full, but they had 3 different buildings. But the reptile side, oh man, they had stuff I had never ever seen and some really cool stuff. And I'm not a reptile person. My wife really liked the insect side, where they pin them up and they put them in these displays. She was really liking some of that stuff. She likes the real bold and weird shape stuff. But yeah, they had snake. They had some cool snakes, and I'm not a snake person at all.
No, not at all. I hate snakes. I'll chop a head off a fucking snake.
And but they really had some really really neat snakes that I was like, man, almost made me overcome my fear of snakes.
Bro, they had some of the probably some of the coolest guppies I've seen too at this place. I mean, they had some wild variations of guppies. I didn't, I know guppies are kind of big, and I know people are into guppies, like breeding them to get different, color morphs and shit out of them. But dude, some of these ones that I seen up there, holy cow! I was gonna put a video out, but I decided not to. I still may, you know what I mean?
Just do it, man. Even or do it in shorts. Just drop.
I might do it. I might do it in shorts.
I know. What I do is I watch a lot of the overseas channels, a lot of the Asian channels where they're breeding the guppies, and you see a lot of stuff over there that they still hasn't even hit here. I remember seeing the 24 karat guppies before they started hitting the U.S. market.
My local fish store has some. I thought about getting them and chucking them in with mine.
Yeah, like I said, I saw them maybe, I want to say like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, they've only been popular recently.
Mm-hmm. Well, that you find them more often. I mean, they've been amongst the community of really geek guppy keepers. They get them as soon as they come out because they'll import them as a clubs. They'll import stuff from Asia, and but and then they'll just kind of hoard them up, breed them out until they decide to put them out of the market.
So I threw Endler live bears, just standard like your gray feeder guppies, black guppies. I mean, I threw blue guppies. I threw whatever you could think of in my 55 with all my guppies in it. I now have some that are freaking rainbows, dude.
Yeah,
they're beautiful.
Well, I was telling Funk that's what I learned as far as my market here. I was trying to straighten out lines. I was trying to straighten out some Dumbo ears, some mosaic Dumbo ears, because I had red tuxedos, Dumbo ears, and I wanted to see if I could get the mosaic pattern in the tail because I haven't seen them here. And I've been working on that for, I don't know, maybe about 2 years now. But come to find out that they weren't interested in those. They wanted just the different colors. They want as many different colors as they can put in an aquarium. That's what I've been selling, is just mixed or fancy guppies. So I'm starting just to throw everything in one tank and do exactly what you've done and just sell out of there.
Just let it do what it's doing.
Yeah, let it do what it's doing. It's the easiest way to breed them and get different colorations, and people just, they'll have them. That's what they want. And I'm selling them at $2 a piece, which is not bad. I mean,
that's not bad at all. Can I tell you what I got a dozen of just plain feeder guppies for?
Probably $1.
Yeah, a little higher than that. It was $2.
Yeah.
I chucked 24 of them in there. And then I chucked about 12 live bears in there. Then I chucked some like 5 or 10 males in there of different variations, and I got what I got. Dude, yeah. I have guppies in with my Walroos. Believe it or not. Everybody's like, oh, your Walroo are going to eat them. There isn't one missing.
Yeah, it's like I have shrimp. I have even shrimp in this tank back here. Well, probably not anymore since I threw all the angels in there. But I had all my coals, my shrimp coals. I would just throw them in there.
Hey, George, she wants to buy some guppies.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I got to go get, as a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm buying more bags. I ran out of bags.
Yeah,
I sent June my last bags with the angels to her.
Here's my thing. I would like to get some angels. I really would, but I can't keep them alive for some reason.
I had that problem when I came back into the hobby. My wife has always liked the angelfish. So that was kind of my way to try to see if I can convince her to let me have tanks inside the house. So I went, I kid you not, probably through about 20 different angels, and I killed them all. And it was crazy because I had other fish in there, and it was only the angelfish that were dying. And it got to the point where I was so disappointed. Hey, Brandon, it was disappointed that that I said I'm never keeping angels again. And I really was not going to keep angels again until maybe last year. A guy I went to go pick up an aquarium, and he had a bunch of, he says, I'm moving. I need to get rid of all this stuff. Can you take that aquarium? But you got to take the fish with it. And I was like, okay, I'll take them. And it was a bunch of angelfish in there. It was about 8 of them. And I was like, man, I knew my luck with them, but I figured, I've been doing this now since when I came back, probably about, I don't know, it was like in 2008, 9 when I got back into the hobby. So it's been a while now. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try them. And luckily, I don't know what it was that time. I couldn't figure it out, but now they're doing okay for me. So sometimes you gotta leave them alone for a while, and then come back around to them and see. I don't know. It's weird.
100% understand. I had the longest one I could get that lived for me just died.
Mm.
I think I may have had it a year, maybe a year and a half. However, I still have my oldest electric blue Acara. One of my OGs is still doing good. It's one of my other females, because my original female died, and now I'm on the second female.
Mm.
And she gave me a batch, and I only got one that was viable out of it. So I'm probably going to keep that little guy.
Yeah.
However, I do have some other fish that are going to leave this weekend.
As a matter of fact, these guys in here just laid eggs the other day, and I didn't pull them out. I'm like, no, you guys can lay all the eggs you want. I'm leaving them in there. If you can raise them, because the mom eats the eggs, she won't let them hatch out. But
I mean, like, legit, dude. I mean, you can see them fucking swimming in there.
Yep.
I mean, there's a
bunch of them.
There's a shitload of them. So you got Jesse that wants some. I have Price Tag wants he actually wants a Cara. Noisy wants some. Yeah. See, I got to do another big water change on my 125, and my Acara will do it again. I know for a fact. I do a 50% or better on that tank, they're laying eggs the next day.
I'll do it if you got the room to raise a fry.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 7 open tanks. I got 7 open 10-gallon tanks. I got filters that I can chuck in there already cycled.
Well, if you could move them, do it. But it's like right now, I've offered these locally. I'm at the point now where I want to see how the shipment goes with June. I sent her 8 of them. And if they arrive okay, I'm going to open it up to anybody that wants them shipped to them, and I'll do that.
How much we charging?
I'm selling them for $8 a piece, and then you cover the shipping. Shipping's $26 for the large box.
Yeah. We
So
might actually have to talk about how you do your shipping process.
Okay. Well, see, for me, right now I can ship to you no problem because you're not that cold yet. But if I wait till November, I'm going to be in trouble because you guys already have snow on the ground in November, right? No.
Sometimes it's in October.
Oh. You know what I meant.
Dude, it has snowed on my birthday in October. The first day of October, it has snowed. You got to have the colorful rainbow gravel.
Nah.
All right, so everybody's asked me about that. Why do I have gravel in my fry tank? So this is what I'm thinking. This has always been my thought process. So you got this little itty-bitty, tiny little baby fish. And to him, that little piece of gravel looks huge. And it's something for him to hide in.
Yeah.
It makes him feel comfortable. That's why I do fry and gravel. This one is an experiment. And
look, here's the other thing. You got to remember, you're going to have infusoria that's growing in between all those crevices and stuff like that. That's food for the fry.
Yes.
So I'm a big believer in having some sort of substrate.
This 15-gallon right here has 0 substrate in it. It's got Donkey and Diddy Kong on it, on a rock, and then another rock over there. And these dudes are doing flawless. I don't think I've cleaned that sponge filter since I put this tank up.
And then my other thinking behind that is, since you do tend to overfeed fry, you can have that extra beneficial bacteria that's growing on the substrate.
Yep.
So, although most of my breeders now, they have lava rock for substrate.
I seen that. I'm like, I don't know if George is going to like this, but I'm probably going to steal that idea for my 20 gallons.
I don't know where I got it from.
Dude, it's cheap. That's cheap as shit. It's just like what, $5 a bag?
I have a couple of bags laying around in here. Well, the main it all start. You know what it started with? Because I constantly have people in our community group in Facebook that they're starting up aquariums and they're in trouble because they don't have beneficial bacteria. They don't have a cycle tank. So I always tell them, come on over. I'll help you out. I'll scoop up I buy the $1 little media bags.
Yeah.
And I'll throw some in there and I'll tell them, put this in your hang on the back. Or if you have something else, just throw it inside the aquarium. Just let it lay in there for a couple of weeks. And then you can pull it out if you don't like the way it looks. And that'll help you jumpstart your cycle. You know,
I use lava rock in all of my canister filters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that from Joey. That's who I saw. That's when I was looking at the videos when I started out. Algorithm sends you directly to him.
So I was talking to him at the first time I met him in Canada, and I was talking to him, about the bio balls, like those plastic balls you get in there. He said, take those out and throw them away. He said, replace them with lava rock. He said, or take them and throw them in a sump.
I don't get rid of them for the same reason that if somebody needs cycled media, I can give those away. No problem. Because all the ones that I've had is because it never fails. You go pick up, you buy or they give you an aquarium, right? That you see on Marketplace. Well, every time I've shown up, they have other stuff that I always end up walking away with. Let me get this real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll be right here. But yeah, lava rock is an inexpensive substrate. You can use it for a substrate. You can put it in the bottom of your filters. I mean, I've got a 5-pound chunk of it in my Oscar tank. I use it as a piece of decoration. It just looks cool in there. To me, everybody else might not like it, but I don't. It is what it is. So, I mean, I do use the gravel, like I said, for fry. It makes them feel safe. They can hide and things of that nature. Sand is definitely my go-to when it comes to doing, tanks. I use sand majority of the time. I give you guys a Noisy update. I have Noisy the Midas cichlid. Maybe I should bring him up on screen. I'll pull him up and show you guys. La-da-dee-da, la-da-dee-do. Oh, just take me to my own freaking shit, buddy. I can't play sound. They get all but butt hurt. YouTube gets butt hurt for me playing sounds. But that is Noisy the Midas cichlid. He's a big dude. Look at that. Look at that color. Look at that hump. Look at that face. So I was talking to the fish store owner where I got this guy from. And he was telling me, he's like, man, I've never seen a fish make a connection with a human like that. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, just the minute you walked up to the tank, he was right there. He's like, the other guy that was with you? No. He's like, but you, right there. Bro, I love that fish. That fish is not going anywhere. That fish's final resting place will be in the fish room down here. I'm actually going to get, oh man. He is probably going to end up in a 180-gallon tank by himself. I don't know what else I can put in there with him that could just hang with him. Maybe my Jaguar when the Jaguar gets bigger, but right now he'll mess that Jag up. I use place sand as well. Place sand is my go-to. However, you can get the natural river-looking sand as well, and that works really well. That's what's in my blue Acara tank, the natural blue Acara tank. But yeah, dude, that is a beautiful fish. I never thought I'd get a Midas cichlid, but I got one. We're gonna put George backstage until he gets back. I thought about putting my Oscars with him. I really did, but my Oscars are kind of, very timid. And he was in a tank with a bunch of other fish. And once they left that tank and went to another tank, when they were surrendered to the pet store, they put all the tank mates together back in that same tank, and he didn't have it. He said, "No, dog, this is my tank." And he went on a beating everybody's ass spree. So for right now, he is in a 40-gallon breeder. Yes, I know it's too small. I get it, but he's fine. He gets a water change every 3 days. He finally ate good for the first time, and I'm not proud. I mean, I am not proud of how I had to feed him. Everybody, I've said it, and I've had to go against my own rules, but I didn't want the little dude to die because he hasn't ate since I brought him home. I fed him convict fry. And it's just, yeah. It upset me because it's not what fish are not food like that for me. Yeah. Them cichlids that Joey has with the stripes on them, I could put one of them with my Acara and Firemouth. Which ones are we talking about? Are we talking about the ones in the 2000 with the red, like the red head and the stripes down their side? Because you definitely need to tell me which one you're talking about. Let's see. Hold on. Oh. The black ones with the yellow stripe. No. I would not put those with them. Well, what the hell are those called? Hold on. Not bumblebees. What the hell are they? Tropheus. I don't think I would put Tropheus in there with them. I think you're talking about these. I wouldn't put these in with them. They come from two different parts of the world. Banded Tropheus. Yellow band Tropheus is what they are. So your Acara are very, very, very docile unless they're breeding. Your Firemouth is probably the biggest asshole in your tank, believe it or not. I don't know. I don't think I would do. I think if you wanted to put another fish in with your Acara and your Firemouth, I think I would stick with South American because that's what they are. You're taking, that's a lake, like I think, what are those from? Those Tanganyikan? They are Lake Tanganyikan East African Tropheus. I mean, they are some cool looking fish, though. Very cool looking fish. But I don't think I would put those in with electric blue Acara. I would put something like this in with them, but this is just me. Right there, the standard green Severum. You could get the red shoulder Severum. But yeah, I would put something like that in there. South American. They'll get along well. It's just me personally. Look at that. We're down to put some Severums in with some electric blue Acara. Oh man, that dude is chunky. Man, you got to see this one. This one is beautiful. Beautiful. This one is beautiful. Look at this guy. This guy is amazing. I would put that dude in my tank right now. That fish isn't flawed. That fish isn't sick. That is amazing. It's a rainbow Severum. My local fish store has that. He has a pair of them. I've been thinking about buying them off of him, but he wants a stupid amount of money for them. I ain't got a stupid amount of money to pay for fish. Lucky I got a stupid amount of money to pay for my, my own hobby. Man, my phone is over here doing some weird shit. The actual fuck. Apparently, I sent myself a message on Facebook. It's impossible. Hey, look at that. George Areno's back.
All right.
There you
come back.
Yeah, I still wouldn't put Lake Tanganyikan cichlids in with South American. There's two different parts of the world, two different water parameters.
What do they want to put?
Tropheus with electric blue Acara and Firemouth. Firemouth's gonna destroy him for one.
I don't know. Those trophies can be assholes too.
Yeah, that Firemouth's a real asshole though.
But try it out. That's the only way. I always try stuff out, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'll pull it out. But
I don't know if it's worth the
trouble.
Yeah, if it's worth the money to figure it out that way.
Yeah. The only problem with the trophy is you got to be able to grow a lot of algae on the rocks because they grace on the rocks.
Yeah, that's no different than Mbona. Mbona graze on the rocks. They're algae eaters in a sense. It's like these guys in my 15-gallon. One day I had a whole bunch of algae on it. The next day, I left and went to work, came home. There wasn't a single piece of algae on that tank.
Well,
like
I'm
right
finding
now,
out with live bears, if you have algae in your tank, don't feed them. Don't feed them because they're not going to go hungry.
No, they're going to eat that algae.
Yeah, they'll start eating the algae.
Yeah.
And they'll clean it up.
He seemed pretty aggressive. Well, maybe he was. I'm just overly cautious when adding African cichlids with South American cichlids.
You know what? I've seen all kinds of stuff now that I don't. It's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, excuse me. Because I keep mine pretty much Africans with Africans, South American with South American. Did you see my Midas?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
just showing that off a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I was watching it.
When some room opens up in my 240, I need a gold Severum.
I know you were showing off some Severums too.
Yeah, dude, that rainbow Severum was beautiful. My fish store has 2 of them.
Mm.
And they've been there for a while. Nobody's bought them. It's because he wants a ridiculous amount of money for them. I think he wants like $110 a piece for them.
It's not ridiculous because that's what you pay for discus.
I got 2 for 120.
Yeah, because you got the friends and family deal.
No, I paid full price for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I bought 6, got 2 free. That was the only thing that was. But then I went back and I bought a breeding pair.
Those are more expensive. Proven pairs.
Proven pair.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
He
gonna
kept
be
the
paying more.
fry, I got the mom and dad.
Yeah, once you start breeding, you might start getting rid of some of the other species.
Facts. I will start selling them. Not gonna lie, I hate African cichlids. Man, I have currently.
What does Joey say? I like them in your tank.
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 tanks full of African cichlids right now. 1 tank is going to my local fish store.
Well, I think what happened was it's like I've always said, they go through, all the fish go through certain trends. They go through these ups and peaks and valleys where all of a sudden they just, you start seeing them everywhere, and then they start changing out, and then it's something else, and eventually they'll come back around. People, once you don't keep them for a while, you start getting nostalgic about having them, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to have them.
Yeah. The African cichlids I'm getting more of them. As I say, I got 5 tanks. I'm getting some more of them from Price Tag. His OBs just bred, so I'm going to end up getting some of those. We're going to do some trading. He wants some Severums and some Macara, and I want some of those OBs. But I have some hybrid fish that I've had since they were 1 inch long. They're about 7 inches long now. I think I'm going to take those out of the 75 that's over there, and I am going to put them in my 125. However, I am afraid of putting any more fish in that 125 just for the fact that everything I put in there before died.
Oh, okay.
And now that I don't have the asshole in that tank anymore, which Raph just mentioned that he fucks with Jules. I had a Jules cichlid that killed everything in that tank. Bro, she was taking out 7-inch OB peacocks. And she was that long. She was a badass. Or he was a badass. I couldn't tell you what it was. I would come down here, that fish would be just swimming around, and the other fish would be running from it or swimming away from it. I'm like, why? So then I put my security camera on it. So I got a camera in the basement to watch so I can look at the fish tanks when I'm not here. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I see. Now I see exactly why those fish were like they were. That jewel was destroying them.
Yeah, Mystique said that it took out 2 6-inch
It's
Oscars.
Oscars. Dude, they're mean little fish, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think what ends up happening, they stress the hell out of the fish because they just won't leave them alone. It's just constantly in pursuit.
I think I'm going to trade that entire tank of African cichlids that I got, or Kenny Eye in Mona. I'm going to trade that entire tank for some jewels. I want them again. However, they're going to stay in that tank and not in there.
See, that's what I'm telling you. We all go through the same thing where we'll keep fish for a while until we get tired of them. We'll get rid of them, and then a few years down the road, you start, oh man, I really want those fish.
And like I told these lovely individuals in the comment section and people that were watching,
you said it ripped chunks out of the Oscars.
Yeah, I did something I didn't want to do, and that was I had fed my Midas cichlid some convict fry.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's just not me though. You know what I mean? I've said it a million times. I won't do it, and I actually did it because I want the fish has got to eat, man.
Well, what are you going to do with all those convicts? That's the reality of it. You can't take them to a pet store, 'cause
Nobody
they
wants
won't
them.
buy them.
Nobody
And-
wants them.
And if people get them from you, they'll take a pair and that's it. And then before they know it, they're in the same situation you're currently in. So unless you're going to grow them all out and figure out a way for them not to reproduce, because they can reproduce real as
A lot.
juveniles. They don't have to be full grown
No,
to start putting out babies.
Well, the good thing about mine are they're Honduran red points and convict mix. So I had a breeding pair of Honduran red points, and the male died.
Hmm.
Well, this little itty bitty convict went over and became the stud.
Yeah.
So now I have a mixture of them. They're cool looking fish. I mean, they're really cool. They're like convicts, but they're red striped. They have a tint of red and black. They look cool as shit. So I have a tank full of them that I'm probably going to keep. You know what I mean? I got a tank for them. They're going to go in there. I'm just going to have to put something in there that's just a little more aggressive that won't kill the convicts, but it'll eat the fry.
Put them in with the Severums.
Oh, my Severums will pick them off.
Yes.
They'll pick
They'll
the
eat the
parents
fry.
off.
Nah, you'll be surprised. Convicts can hold they can hold their own.
I had somebody tell me, why don't you just dump the whole tank into the 240?
Yeah.
I'm like, they'd all be gone within that. That big Oscar would eat one of the convicts right off the bat, one of the big convicts.
Maybe.
He ate a 6-inch alligator.
There used to be a channel. I haven't seen the guy anymore, but he was building all plywood aquariums in his basement. And I'm trying to remember.
I said, okay.
And he had convicts with Oscars and some other giant ass fish that you would think that would eat them, and convicts were holding their own. I wish I remember his name. But for a while there, he was going ham building out his fish room. But he had big tanks. He built several of those. No, not Aquarium Domain. What was that guy's name? He was a tall, skinny guy with a mustache. But he built
97% of hipsters.
Yeah, no, he wasn't a hipster. He was just a.
Oh, damn, I lost a subscriber during this live stream.
Oh, well. I keep losing 2 I gain 2 and then I'll lose 1. Then I'll go a couple of days and I'll pick up another 2. And then
It's funny.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
What was this guy's name? Now it's bugging me. Here, I got to go look to see who I was subscribed to. But he had a bunch of them.
Man, this guy is at a local fish store of mine, but he's where I got my Midas from. This dude's got a lot of tanks, man. He's got some decent fish. I don't know if anybody here is close enough to go to the store, but he's in Port Clinton, Ohio. It's called Wet Pets and Pals.
I think his
He's got turtles and everything.
Something with Death. I think he had some
Big Steve's glass boxes. Welcome, Jeremy. Jerome. I had to.
Hey, Steve.
Sorry.
Let's see.
What's up, P-Tag?
I want to say he was also from your neck of the woods.
Oh no.
But I think he ended up moving, and that's why he did away with everything. He never came back on the scene. This must have been probably about 2 years ago. But that's why I always remember is the fact that he had the little convicts with these big fish, and the big fish wouldn't do anything to them.
Off the Deep End Aquatics.
I think that's who it is. Let me see. I think that's who it is. It sounds. Who
Let's
got
break
it?
back to work. See you. All right, Nikki. Take care.
Oh yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, I think that's who it is. Off the Deep End. I know I got too many subscriptions. I think I'm almost at 2,000 channels that I'm subscribed to.
I don't know how many I'm subscribed to. A lot.
Anybody that has fish, usually I go subscribe, especially if they're currently active. Wait up. Okay. Let's see. I'm almost positive that's who it is.
Off the Deep End Aquatics. What's up, Discus North? Is this him?
Yep, that's the guy. Yeah, he has in one of those big plywood aquariums. He's got convicts with him.
I'll have to go through and check it out.
I don't know what happened to him. He just kind of disappeared. He was growing quick, and he was doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, his name was Mike. Yep, that's the guy.
17,000 subscribers, dude, and 120 videos.
Yeah, his last video was 2 years ago.
Hey, man, sometimes it happens. People just got to step away and do their thing. You know what I mean?
But I was actually really enjoying his channel, and I'm not a big monster fish guy, but I was really like what he was doing. I mean, it was cool. But yeah, that was the one thing I remember. He had little convicts with the monster fish, and convicts were breeding and everything in there. I'm sure not everything was making it, but enough to where he started out with 2 and he had several.
Man, I swear to God, this tank back here.
To Rod at Pedro. Yeah, I'm looking at one of his the second to the last video. I see Rod in the thumbnail, so that's probably what it is. Oh yeah, predatory fins took them all. I will never see these fish again. So yeah, I guess I don't know what
he got out of the hobby.
Yeah. Too bad.
Too bad, so sad.
It happens. I mean, sometimes I think about just get rid of everything and keep 275s.
You know what, man? I thought about getting rid of everything but what's in this room.
But then I go, no, what are you talking about? You're talking crazy. So
then I'd be getting rid of my, the fish that I have upstairs that nobody knows about. Oh shit, excuse me. I've got a gold gourami you guys have never seen. You may have seen once.
Maybe. I don't recall it, but
I've got my discus. I have ruby green cichlids that nobody's seen. I got a breeding pair of electric blue Acara that nobody's seen. They haven't gave me anything yet, but they are a breeding pair. They're not comfortable yet,
Yeah.
I'm waiting on these natural blues to start pumping them out. They're about that size. They're about the right age. And I've been hitting these dudes with water changes, and they've been growing, so they're about at the right age to start pumping me out some babies. When those dudes hit, I think I can sell the shit out of those as well. Oh, George, I'm fucking tired, bro.
All right. I was about to tell you that I got to jump off anyway, so good time.
Yeah, I got to take a shower and go to bed. I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, well, I was going to jump in the shower, and then I said, I'll smoke my last cigar before I take a shower, because I hate taking a shower then getting all stinky with cigar smoke.
I get it.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for allowing me to come up here and hanging out with you, man.
Bro, I enjoy you coming up here. Anytime I'm on, if it's not like my Sunday live stream, man, you're more than welcome. That's why I tell you, take that camera to work with you, bro.
I started doing it, but I don't want to do it too often either, because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody making a phone call.
Oh, well, guys, thanks for being here. You guys have a great night. It's your hobby. Do it your way.
Thank you, guys.